Welcome to our coverage of the 57th Daisy BB Gun Nationals hosted in Rogers, Arkansas. With nearly 500 competitors, this year's event featured not only the team BB gun matches for the national title, but also 10-meter air rifle, returning champions matches, and the all-new Top 10 shootout. We'll also be bringing you interviews with teams, coaches, and competitors, as well as our discussions with Robert Barr, president of the NRA, Scott Stuhr, program coordinator for the National 4-H Shooting Sports, and of course, Keith Higginbotham, president of Daisy. It was a jam-packed event, and we are excited to bring you our coverage of the 2024 Daisy Nationals. Let's get started. Hey there guys, it's Rick here with AirgunWeb. We are at the Daisy Nationals, and we've been talking to Scott from the 4-H, and boy, I've learned a ton. I won't say it's quite been like drinking from a fire hose, but there's been a lot of information dropped in these videos we've been doing. And we're going to drop some more for you guys. Scott, first of all, thank you so much for coming out.
Rick, thank you for having me.
This has been so much fun. I've known of 4-H, but learning about all that you do, I mean, I've known it's existed, right? But learning really about it, that's two different things. Mm-hmm. So one of the things you mentioned in one of the videos we were recording was sort of how you got started. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking, it's so cool, like when you see what you do has an impact. I mean, that really makes what you do worth it. And I was walking down the aisles here right as we were getting started, and a young man reached out his hand and said, "Hi, Rick." And I'm like, okay, hi. He knows me from YouTube. And he said, I wanted to let you know, it was COVID. We were just watching YouTube. I found your channel, and it inspired me to go ahead and start our own team. And he talked about 4-H and how it got started and how much help you guys gave him and all of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it was really cool to meet this guy and find out that, something I had done inspired him to get things going. That's like awesome. Got me thinking, I wonder if there's other folks that would love to do 4-H in their community, but maybe they have this mindset of all these barriers to entry, right? So I need so many kids. I need so much money. I have all these things I got to do or it can't be done. And I think that there's a perception that's probably incorrect. Mm-hmm. So I thought, why don't you tell me if one of you guys out there or gals wants to start a team, what's required, what needs to happen? And you were even talking that there's home clubs, which we're going to talk about that. I think that's cool. So I'll let you talk now, but tell me about that process.
Yeah, so really what it is each state, they hold training. So they hold state trainings throughout the year to certify what are called level 1 instructors. And those are the ones that boots on the ground working directly with the kids. We go through a quick certification training. Cool. I say quick, it's usually a good solid day plus, but we do 9 hours of discipline-specific training. So specifically, if you wanted to become a BB gun instructor or a rifle instructor, you would take rifle, and that gets you BB gun, air rifle, and small bore rifle. And so it's 9 hours of discipline and then 3 hours of positive youth development training, because we are a positive youth development organization first and foremost. Okay. So that's all it really takes you to get started, just being able to want to share that passion and work with kids and teach that. Okay. Teach that opportunity.
One of the things he was talking about was that he was able to work with their local 4-H extension. We talked about that in our other videos. And then actually work in looking for some grant money to help get equipment. So there's beyond just the training, well, you got to have stuff for people to use, right? So tell me a little bit about how that process could potentially work.
You bet. So we have some wonderful sponsors across the states and nationally that will help us get started. There's something called the Youth Shooting Sports Alliance that actually will lend out guns and ship them to you so you can use them. So we've got a lot of different avenues for grant dollars, for equipment borrowing around the country. So if you think you just don't have the equipment, there's always an opportunity out there. And if you're not sure where to find that, get in touch with us. We're here to help.
And I bet you that I'm pretty sure Daisy, and now Daisy and Crossman, I'm still wrapping my head around that particular hybrid synergy thing going on, also have some programs that can help you get started and save you some money and get going. So I know that when you think equipment, it can get super expensive. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, this event I think is awesome. And we didn't really talk about this, but the cool thing I like about the Nationals, everybody's shooting the same gun. Right. It's none of this who has the deeper wallet kind of thing. It's the gun is the same. The BBs are the same. It comes down to pure skill, and that I love that aspect of it for sure.
Exactly. You're showing off the competitor at this point. It's the athlete that's shining through.
Yeah, it's not the brand or how much money you had to spend on your scope or this other nonsense. I hate that part of competition. It's one of the well, I'm also afraid to compete, but we're not going to talk about that because I can feel pretty good about myself on my range with my stuff. It's a whole other ball game when you're like 30 other people and you realize how bad you are. I don't know. My ego can take that.
As a coach, I learned a long time ago that I don't shoot with my kids. I teach, they shoot. They can outshoot me, no problem.
Yeah, no problem there. Okay, so they've got their training, they've got their support. Now let's talk about, I mentioned this just briefly, I need 30 kids, right? I got to have a whole whack load of them to make sense for this to happen, right?
No.
No, okay.
Nope, you get certified, it's up to you as a volunteer. If it's you just want to teach your kids, most definitely you just teach your kids. If you want to teach your kids and your neighbors' kids, you get 3 or 4 of you together, you put together a club, work with your local extension agent and your extension office. You put together a small club. It could be 1, 2, 10, 15, however much you want to do and how much time you want to give.
I would be very curious how many of the teams that were represented here started with one guy or one gal teaching their youngster, and then their buddy wanted to shoot, and then their buddy wanted to shoot. I wonder how many of the clubs here started that just like that.
It's exactly how it started. I can tell you a story. I did a certification for a club. One individual got certified in a discipline, went home, started saying, hey, we're going to start holding practice. And I get a phone call, and he says, Scott, I've got a problem. And I go, what's your problem? He goes, so I advertise that we're going to hold this practice. And he goes, I've got 70 kids signed up. He goes, what do I do? I said, you need to get more people certified and get trained. Let's make this happen. And they became a very large club. So it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. And it is a great sport. It does teach, well, the shooting sports I think are great because especially at this level, well, all levels really, but this level you have the individual discipline, but you also have the teamwork discipline. Right. So it's like, as you get further on in the shooting sports, it's less about the team and more about the individual. Yep. But at this level, it's about both, which I think is super cool. It is. But it's just a really good environment for people to learn. Just learn how to be decent to one another and have good discipline, just personal discipline and seeing and following through on stuff.
We're building life skills in these young people, and they're helping us as adults and instructors build our life skills too. So it's pretty amazing what this program does in all youth shooting sports programs. All
right, well, that's going to wrap up this video. Before we let you go, because I've kept him here for like a while, so before we let you go, give us your websites again, and we'll have those in the video description. And remember, guys, if you want to do something, it's just up to you to do it, right? I mean, there are known doable steps you can take to see that goal through. So give them your website, and then we're going to go ahead and shut it down.
You bet. So our website is 4-hshootingsports.org.
All right. Well, you guys got it. Again, we'll put the links in the video description. That's going to be it for now. Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For taking all this time today to do these videos with me. I really appreciate it. We're going to get back out there, talk to some competitors, go probably eat something. I'm feeling we need to have a bite to eat, but we're going to go do that. For now, that's going to be it. My name's Rick here with AirgunWeb. We're at the Daisy Nationals 2024. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching our coverage of the 2024 Daisy Nationals. If you would like to learn more about the Daisy Nationals or other shooting programs mentioned in this video, please be sure to check out the links in the video description. Thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you again next year. I've known of 4-H, but not nerd.
But I haven't nerded out about it yet.
Yeah, I've nerded out about it.
We're close.
Cheryl, don't you get crazy with this with the bloopers.